you know, there was an article that came out recently in the Daily Beast that said the headline was Rhymefest wants his due. It sets it up with me being kind of a ghostwriter for Kanye. The way I look at the work that Kanye West and I did was more, and I always have said this, is more of a collaboration. This particular interview for 2 hours, we talked about the documentary In My Father's House. And every now and then he'd slip a Kanye question in, we joke and laugh or whatever. But when the article was put out there, Rhymefest wants his due, and it wasn't about my perception of the interview, which was about our documentary. It became about Kanye West. Now you get all these questions kind of like, well, why are you putting it out there now? Why are you doing this now? Well, what I would say is that people want clicks. A lot of times you do these interviews and they'll pick the most salacious. I never said I wanted my do it. No part in the article did I say I didn't get credit. And so, but the perception is he wants credit. You know what I mean? What I think though, that's interesting, now that people are seeing who I am as a community person, as a lyricist, my contribution through Glory and all of these other stuff, I think people want me to get credit. Instead of the audience, the fans saying, yo, we love him as much as we love him. They're saying, well, there has to be a bad guy and it can't be us. It must be Kanye. Like, so I don't believe that there is any bad guys. I don't believe that I haven't gotten credit. I think if you look at the songs that I've said I've helped write, you see my name on them. So, you know, I'm able to have the things that I have now and the royalty checks that I get because I have my name on things and I have my percentage. But what I would say is that this goes back to what I was saying about us being in an information age with very little information. It's so interesting. So many people hit me up and be like, man, if you really wrote this, what did you write? And then why ain't nobody saying? And I'm like, yo, why don't you just Google and just go look and see what the credits say? We're in an information age where people just have so little information. So I don't have like my career isn't comprised of Kanye West or Common only. Blue Collar, whatever we're talking about with J Records, Blue Collar was a classic album. Anybody who was around at the time, who bought it, who heard it, who knows it, who listens to it now knows that that album represented a lot of what we hear in music today. Whether it's through the sounds of Mark Ronson, the rhymes of Rhymefest, the wittiness, you know, all of that stuff. Me having a serious campaign as a rapper for political office speaks volumes for hip hop without a song. You know what I'm saying? Like having people like Lupe and George Clinton and Cornel West come in and campaign on the behalf of a rapper. That was big. Me documenting saving my father, creating an organization like Donda's House where I teach creative writing to young people. I mean, man, you know, I got major awards to my name now. I could go to LA and redo a TV or do this or whatever else. I'm living in Chatham by choice. I think that it's cheap when people try to limit me to Kanye's ghostwriter. Ghostwriters are dead. I mean, ghosts are dead. I can't, I'm very much alive, and my presence is being felt throughout not just music, but through the community and through the world. And so I think I've proven in my life that I'm bigger than cheap tricks, than trying to come out the closet to get attention for what? I ain't got no album coming out right now. I ain't got no single I'm trying to promote right now. So what I would like the world to know is who Rhymefest is. So when you see a certain type of story or a certain type of depiction, you can know right away if that shit true or not. Because you'll know Rhymefest wouldn't do nothing like that, or this is, Rhymefest would talk like this, you know? But I do think it was a well-written article. I think that if you get past the headline, if you read the article, there was a lot of good stuff in there, though. In the article, and I do think the Daily Beast article did a good job in expressing what I said about artists like Chief Keef. many times our artists are being plucked because they're getting these numbers on, you know, social media, and they're being plucked by corporations, but they're being exploited. They need advocates. They got trauma. They got all types of special needs, you know? But instead of getting that stuff addressed before you just throw them out there to sell something, a product, these corporations just exploit these young people. And so what I was saying about Chief Keef is that I believe that if you look at the factual signs of autism, that he exhibits those signs of autism. And I think that it's unfair to him that he has been exploited throughout this entertainment industry. And so when the other blogs pick it up, I mean, the Daily Beast wrote it fairly accurate to how I stated it. But when the other blogs, BT.com, you know, other blogs, they pick it up, media takeout. Rhymefest said, look at Chief Keef's face. He got autism. Look at Chief Keef. Like, you know, he don't like him. And it was just like, yo, that's cheap. But guess what? People that live in Chicago was lighting my Twitter up like, yo, fam, we know who you are. And what you said is actually accurate. Thank you, Rhymefest, for bringing things to the light that people need to know. My community had my back, and they wanted to talk about exploitation of artists in this industry. But the cheap whirlwind of media, they wanted to just keep a story going.
Someone get rich in this country, and then they go and they build a school in Africa. You know what I'm saying? It was like, if we just do more of that kind of stuff in our own.
I ended up doing my performance, and during the light, I stopped the song, and dude got down on one knee, proposed to his girl.
The cop came to the window and was like, yo, I smell the weed, so whoever got it, just cough it up. I won't do nothing. I won't lock you up. I won't do nothing. Everybody's like, yeah, whatever.
Brooklyn, New York was a little bit, like when I was super young, like 6, 7, 8, 9, it wasn't so bad. But by the time I turned 13, things in the neighborhood took a turn. So the music was a way for me to really just, you know, not hanging out with the wrong crowd and